After I released my first video, I asked my inner circle for feedback, and somebody in my friend's inner circle gave feedback to pass on to me. Basically, the advice was that I should start my videos like this. Hi guys, my name is Céline, and today we're gonna talk about blah 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 and give a layout of what I'm gonna say. Feedbacks are important, even coming from someone you didn't ask. While I appreciate the feedback, I haven't taken that approach in my videos so far, although I have to say, I thought about it in the early stages of this project, but I dismissed the idea mainly because I don't feel comfortable presenting my videos like that, as if I'm doing a PowerPoint presentation. I'm sure it works for different subjects. Like, if I was to talk about business or finances, then it would be good for you to know what to expect from that video and if there's any interest for you. The way I decided to make my videos is how life happens to me, what I think about when I hear or see something, and the emotions I feel at that moment, which is kind of unpredictable. I mean, I can plan my days ahead with what needs to be done in regards to work, my activities, my holidays, but everything else is out of control. Just like conversations, I don't plan those with a friend or someone I'm potentially gonna meet. Oh hi, it's nice to meet you, I'm Céline. So for the next 7 minutes and 33 seconds, we're gonna talk about what's happening in our brain when we receive criticism. Now, I am aware there are a ton of videos online now on personal growth, with different styles, and my style might not work for you, and that's completely okay. I mean, if you found a video from someone else and it got you to ask yourself questions, to reflect on life, and to make changes to make your life better, then I think that's amazing. Anyway, I believe if people are interested in personal growth or anything else, they'll be looking for tips, they'll be ready to listen and do the work necessary. Everyone is different in terms of thinking, reacting, and behaving. We all have our journey and we take it at our own pace. Ultimately, what I've done with that feedback was to remember that this person was just trying to help me as I started this project. Maybe they didn't realize that what works for them doesn't work for me, but I understand where that came from and I listened. Who knows, maybe for one of my next videos, I'll be using that advice. But then I thought about the feedback you get that you didn't ask for and are not supportive.
I'm interested in minimalism. You are constantly buying new things and you want to own nothing at all. I don't think you can ever be a minimalist.
People can be quick to judge, and let's face it, we've all got someone around who does that, criticizing what we do or what we try to do. Or maybe that someone is you, and no judgment here, because I have been that person in the past. Okay, so you know when you share something with someone, generally you expect a positive response. But sometimes you get a harsh critic instead. According to some theories, that creates a drop of dopamine levels. And that would explain how criticism is perceived as a threat by our brain. Remember my first video where I said our brain is wired to keep us safe? Well, it comes as no surprise that criticism can activate our defense reaction, which is like blaming the other person or justifying yourself to that person. I recently read the book Your Boundaries by Dr. Faith G. Harper, and I learned that our brains are wired to do something called the fundamental attribution error. When we mess up and violate someone else's boundaries, we attribute our actions to the situation at hand. When other people mess up and violate our boundaries, we attribute it to them being a fundamentally terrible person. Does it resonate with you? Because it did with me. So then I thought, what's happening in my brain when I receive criticism? I'm not a professional when it comes to the mind. Please do correct me if anything I mention is inaccurate. I'd like to know. I'm just fascinated by how our minds work, so I've been researching, reading books, and listening to anything related to our brain to find how amazing the brain is. So you know there's an area of the brain called the amygdala, which is responsible for creating emotions and their memories. I think of it like my browser's history for emotions. Then there's the thinking, logical part of the brain, which is the prefrontal cortex. What it does is collecting outside information, and the amygdala is in turn browsing through the history of our past experiences and controlling our response to the threat, the fight, flight, or freeze response. So knowing that, I asked myself, can we take criticism more like a feedback? Is there a better way to handle it? Well, I wouldn't be making this video and leave you there, would I? So here's what I've been doing to manage criticism. Recognizing the emotions you feel and name them. Notice what this moment is doing to you physically and mentally. How is your body reacting? How's your breathing? I found that being more aware of this helps me control what I do internally and externally, because I then shift my focus on something other than the negative feedback. Thinking differently about it. Remember, everyone thinks differently, as well as how they express themselves with actions or words. You can't control what other people think, do or say, but you can control what you think, do or say. Maybe they had a good intention, but boy do I know that having a good intention doesn't make anyone great at communicating or listening. Have you ever thought that maybe the person who criticized you just replied? I mean, maybe they listened to reply instead of listening to understand. When you get to that place, just make sure that you listen to understand. I'm not gonna say it's easy because, you know, life is not easy. And it doesn't mean that you have to agree with what they said. It means that you control your reaction. You keep your focus on what you know you can do and where to put your time and energy. Thanks for watching this video. I'm Céline and welcome back, or welcome to my channel One Life, One Journey. If you've watched this far, I truly appreciate it, and if you've liked this video, please make sure to hit the like button, to share it, and subscribe to the channel and get the notification for the next video. I've tried to keep it simple with the science bit in this video, so let me know in the comments what you thought about it and what's your takeaway from it. Okay, so take care and I'll see you next time. The way I will... people can be quick to judge. What we do or what we try to do. Because I have been that person in a positive. Remember my first video where I said nothing. Our brains is yeah. I recently it doesn't mean you have to agree with what they said. With what?